Alright, everybody. Welcome. It's Saturday night. This is the Cyber Racing Association's Homes Now Super Speedway Series. Tonight we are with the K&N cars back at Daytona. And there goes the 20 around on the backstretch. There's about 3 minutes left here in practice. As always, we come to you with about 5 minutes of practice remaining. And then qualifying, gridding through the race. Tonight we will run 3 stages, 30 laps apiece. And there are 2 races remaining until we get to the Fast 15 in the Cyber Racing Championship Series. So with the new build out, we saw last week at Talladega the open trucks. We saw some people that saw good success from it. We saw maybe some others that needed a little bit of help or some more time to work on the setups. What do you guys think tonight we're going to see as far as fixed setup racing? Is apparently their setup needed to be worked on as well.
Well, you know, I've had a chance to actually run their setup around the track a little bit, and it definitely needs a little bit of help. The car seems like it's hitting a wall when you're up behind the car. It gets it a little squirrely. So side drafting is going to be a challenge tonight, and I think engine temps are going to be another challenge.
It definitely does look that way because we've been in here for a while watching these guys turn laps, and it definitely does appear that the high side, which is usually the predominant and the preferred side, it did look like they were getting a lot of push, especially when trying to side draft. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys keep the cars under control, whether they resort to messing with their force feedback or what they do. It's still, we're in a kind of a exploratory state here, only being 1 week into the build series. Still a lot of things need to be hammered out, but I'm fairly confident the majority of these guys here, we know they know how to race with these cars in the draft, even with a no handling set. So I don't really expect to see too much in the way of what the hell happened. I'm not going to rule out netcode because, as me and Mike saw last week at the truck race, there was some very, very bad netcode. So that could be another factor that plays in. We all know that this is play track racing, so these cars having the shovel head front end and 2x4s for asses on these cars. We know that bumping in corners is a big no-no, so a lot of variables, as always, in play here at a plate track, but these guys seem to have gotten it down better than any other league that we've ever seen. So I actually look forward to seeing what these K&N cars will do here, and obviously these guys are just going to improve on their fixed set as the weeks continue, and hopefully after week 13 iRacing doesn't screw us again. Alright, so that's going to wrap up practice here. Now we're going to advance into qualifying. Get these guys out here and see who's going to throw down the fastest time here. It's going to be interesting to see. Get a look there, the 58 of Jim Peterson as he makes his way out onto the track. Not only is he one of the racers here, he's also the series sponsor with the Homes Now Not Later. You see there, Jim is about to complete his outlap here. So that's why there's 3 to go. Your first lap does not count. So he's about to take the stripe here, and now this will start his first official lap. You see Jim's running that high line there. It's typically what we all do there on our first lap. We stay up against the wall as much as possible and then wait to the second lap to drop down there and hug the yellow line. As he comes out of turn 4 for his first counted lap, we're going to see what he runs for a time here. As he's dropped down to the bottom now, we take a look at the 61 of Earl Arts Jr. Time starting to come in right now. The fastest is the 65 of Marty Ray with a 49.994. Jim Peterson right now currently holding down second with a 50.183. 44 of David Anderson in third with a 52.62. Daniel Holloway in the 26th, fourth with a 52.62 as well, so identical lap times. And now we see the 00 Dwayne Cooper going to move up to second with a 49.998. Now we see the 54 of Chris Ackers. He's going to run a 49.208 his second lap there, so that's fast enough to pole right now. And the 33, now the 44 of David Anderson is going to claim the top spot with a 49.175. Let's see if anybody else can get that faster lap time in, as we see the 00 there of Dwayne Cooper making his second lap around. Right now, the 3 of Paul Servant with a 49.147. Looks like that's going to be the time to beat. Raymond Rittenhauer there in the 87. He's showing second with a 49.162. So that'll move the 44 of David Anderson down to, oh no, now he got moved again because the 8 of Dana Osborne just laid down a 49.174. So 1/1000th of a second faster. You see there the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. right now. He is being shown in 11th with a 49.267. And while these guys are wrapping up qualifying here, we're going to go ahead and bring out the U.S. Army Marching Band and give us the national anthem. So please rise and remove your hats. Amazing job as always, and I do believe everybody is now sitting on pit road here waiting for the session to finish up. So as soon as they get gridded up here, we will roll right into tonight's gridding orders. There they are right there. So that's going to bring up tonight's gridding order. Starting on pole will be the 3 of Paul Servant with a 49.147. Starting outside of him, the 87 of Raymond Rittenhauer with a 49.162. Rolling off third will be the 8 of Dana Osborne with a 49.174. David Anderson rolls off fourth tonight with a 49.175. Chris Ackers in the 54 will roll off fifth with a 49.208. The 4 of Justin Levine will start sixth tonight with a 49.212. Starting in seventh tonight will be the 18 of Gary Champion with a 49.212. The 00 Dwayne Cooper, he's going to start eighth tonight with a 49.245. The 66 of Bobby Tinch rolls off ninth with a 49.248. Earl Arts Jr. is going to round out the top 10 with a 49.258. The 1 of R.D. Peterson Jr. will start 11th tonight with a 49.267. The 33 of Jeff Yastrzemski will roll off 12th in a 49.269. Daniel Holloway in the 26 rolls off 13th with a 49.269 as well. Marty Ray in the 65 will start 14th with a 49.275. Jim Peterson in the 58 will start 15th with a 49.296. The 70 of Troy Patterson will start 16th with a 49.413. Alexander Russell in the 6 will start 17th with a 49.826. Cody Taber in the 51 rolls off 18th with a 49.946. Thomas LeBar in the 99 will start 19th with a 50.017. Michael Coe in the 20 will round out the top 20 with a 55.19. Gregory Thompson will roll off 21st with a 54.792. The 2 of Rick Seabrand is 22nd with a 58.803. The 29 former Psychedelic Kitty, Matthew Welsenbach, will roll off 23rd. Eric Knex 24th in the 21. Roger Stewart in the 5, 25th. Lance Marsh 26th. PJ O'Leary 27th. Jason Rodebush 28th. Surratt 29th. Matthew Almany 30th, and that will round out the field as the pace car is making its way into turn 3 on the pace lap. So, all right, guys, we're less than a quarter lap from starting this race. What do you expect to see here in the first stage?
Well, as always, it's great racing in here. It's you know, I think a lot of these guys played some strategies and qualified slow to stay in the back, try to avoid. There's a lot of cars in here. You know. You just, there's some names that you're not so familiar with. You kind of want to just take it easy and see how it plays out for the first stage.
And with that being said, the pace car is getting ready to drop down pit road. And as always, we are in the Crank It Up cam. So as the green flag comes out, we are underway here with the Cyber Racing Association Homes Now Super Speedway Series. We're seeing some good shots here. See the lead pack there doing its thing, and then look at the rest of the field there laying back. And as they come around to take lap 2 there, we're going to go ahead and jump back to the normal Fox cameras so the cars aren't as loud. We always like to do the restarts and the initial start on the race with the Crank It Up camera. That way you guys get to hear the raw power of these cars and some of the cameras that you don't normally get to see with the Fox cam. As we are riding and looking at our current race leader, the 3 of Paul Servant, 200 miles an hour on the backstretch, 201, 202 I saw there, 204. So they're still able to hit over 200 miles an hour with these Can-Am cars, which is absolutely the testament to how awesome these things are at super speedways and the reason why they're so popular. And so far, it looks like we've got probably about a 10-car lead pack that's broke away from the rest of these guys. Now, remember, these guys are running a full fuel load. There's one quick repair, and there's 3 stages. So these guys, they're still having to race into the top, or the fast 15. Segment wins are key, as well as the overall race win. But these guys right here seem to know what they're doing, as they've broken away about a good second and a half from the rest of the field, which if these guys here don't get lined up, they're going to start losing the draft. But we will see that mandatory caution flag come out on lap 30, because, well, 31, that'll be the end of the first stage, and then we'll hit lap 60 and then lap 90. Even though it does say 100 laps tonight, that is to allow for NASCAR overtime in the event that we do come to a green-white checker and we have to do it more than once. So that's why we have 10 extra laps and extra time allocated in the server here. Oh, we see a couple cars get together. They're down below the racing surface, so this might not cause a caution here, but definitely contact between the 2 cars. And caution is out. So we're working our first caution here at Daytona. We're going to go back and look and see what happened here. This will be between the 5, the 9, and the 80. As you see, that's the Napa Auto Parts car. That is the 9. Everything looks good so far going into 3. There's the 5 behind. There's the 80 in front of the 9 there down in the bottom lane. The 5 in the upper lane as they come off 4 here. This is where the initial wreck happened. We saw it, so some people ducked low. Looks like the 5 comes down, hits the 9, which brings the 9 down into the 80, and then the 60 also gets a piece of that from the 9 car. So that is what is going to trip our caution here. So we see multiple cars involved in that, and it was just a simple, looked like didn't look around to see what happened. So looking at it a little bit more in depth, it looked like the 96 made a little bit of contact with the 9, which initiated everything that we saw happen there. But like I said, these drivers do have one quick fix, and I'm probably going to get yelled at post-race, but is it one quick fix to the entire race or one per stage? Oh, okay, so they do only have one lifeline. And on lap 6, a lot of these drivers might be forced to use it. So we're also going to take a look at another car point of view here from the wreck. Here we are now riding on board with the 60 of Lance Marsh. Now, the event that's about to happen, they're coming to turn 3 and 4 right now. The initial wreck is going to be up ahead of these guys down on pit road. We're going to see them kind of check. There's the wreck right there. Now we're going to watch them slowing down. Everything looks good. Then we see the 96 there come down, make contact, hits, and then here comes the 9 into the side of the 60. So great job keeping it off of the outside wall as he loops it around, gets it stopped and going. Now we are right on board. We're going to go up here to the lead. And you can hear, as we're riding on board with these guys, that everybody is clutching, which means they're already conserving fuel. So definitely we're going to see a lot of strategies in play tonight. And honestly, fuel saving is probably the most common here at the flight tracks, but it is one of the most effective. That and keeping your tires nice and cool for the restart. We see some takers down pit road.
Yeah, most of those guys are probably damaged, or they're going to take a quick top off to get a little more fuel in the car. But I think a lot of those guys have some substantial damage they're trying to tinker with.
Well,
if they didn't use their quick repair.
That's exactly what I was just about to allude to. Being this early on in the race, even if I did sustain some pretty heavy damage, as long as it didn't really hit the car too bad, I would not burn my quick fix. There's a lot of racing left to do here, but it looks like the guys are just topping off on fuel. So they'll recycle to the back of the field here, and meanwhile our lead pack here is just clutching it. Now there's what I was talking about, keeping the tires cool. Not only that, you're not sitting up there on that angle. The only thing is riding that low line, any marbles that are on the track are going to tend to accumulate down there on the apron. So you're getting stuff that you might not necessarily want on your tires on there, but then you just pull back up on track and get it to where it's, you either scrub them or just roll with it the way it is. Because honestly, with only 6 laps in the race, when the caution came out, and the rest of these being under pace, as we're going to double them up here as the lights on the pace car are out, it's not really going to be too much of a marble buildup on the bottom of the track yet. So as we get ready to go here, we'll restart on lap 11. Now remember, lap 30, that'll be the end of segment 1, so we will have a competition caution to end the stage. Get some good onboard shots here from the Crank It Up camera. Pace car is making its way into turn 3 here, so about a quarter lap away from restarting the race here. Once again, Paul Servant in the 3, maintaining that lead. Starting on his outside will be the 8 of Dana Osborne, Bobby Tinch in 3rd, David Anderson 4th, Daniel Holloway 5th, Artie Peterson Jr. 6th, Justin Levine 7th, Dwayne Cooper 8th, Earl Arts Jr. 9th, and Alexander Russell is going to round out the top 10 as we get ready to restart here on lap 11. Green flag is out. We are back underway here, lap 11 of 90. And as they come to the line, we're going to pull back to the regular Fox cameras. Once again, it'll be the 3 of Paul Savant leading that lap. As we see a slightly larger front pack this time. It seems like more drivers have decided to get up there and run with the front, but we do see some guys who are still dedicated to running back there in the back of the pack right now. You see the 44 there, trying to do his best there, helping the 8 of Dana Osborne. Behind him, we have the 61 of Earl Arts Jr. on the outside line. Inside, we got the 3, the 66 of Bobby Tinch, and the 26 of Daniel Holloway. Now we're starting to see a little bit of what Dwayne was talking about earlier with the setup not being 100%. You're starting to see these cars shift out coming out of the corner, so they're getting a little bit aero tight, which is a little unusual for these cars because usually you can side draft the living dog shit out of these things and stay pretty much within a couple inches of the car to the inside or the outside.
As the race wears on, if they don't have any cautions through that stint, they're going to find that the car's going to want to wash up the hill a little bit, and it's going to make corner exit a lot tighter than what they're used to.
As we're already starting to see, as we're only coming to lap 14 in the books, taking lap 13 right now, we're already starting to see some of these drivers, either they're breathing the car, because that might be another issue, that temperatures might come into play, or that we're starting to see some of that push already, only 15 laps into the race. But as they come to the stripe this next time by, it'll be halfway until we end stage 1 here at Daytona.
It almost seems like the balance is way off on the cars that are exiting the corner. The field just kind of does a whole bobble, and everybody kind of just washes away from each other.
Well, that is part of the new iRacing build. They changed all the cars around to where the weight has been redistributed through the car, so it's more to the real-world counterpart. So that definitely hurt the setup that these guys have been running here that was so stable, so smooth, locked to the ground, and allowed them to do such amazing side drafting. So that right there is one of the biggest things, and I've done it through week 13. I've run every single car that you could think that would run on a plate track, and all of them handled completely different than I was ever used to. So it's definitely a learning curve, and as the weeks wear on, with them rotating cars, they're going to have to learn that these K&Ns may still be the fastest, but now they don't exactly handle as good as they used to.
I don't know, to me, Art, it almost looks like the suspension is unloading coming out of the corner a lot more than it should be.
Now that could be on iRacing, or it could be on the setup, or it could be a little bit of both. It does look like the cars have a little bit of a California lean going. That nose is kind of up in the air. You really want to see that splitter right down on the ground, if not trying to resurface the track with the splitter. We're kind of seeing them sticking up, and I'm noticing a little bit of damage there on the right rear quarter of the 8 car. Maybe that was from the 44, or giving him a little bit of a push there and just gave him some cosmetic damage. But at the line again by barely a nose, it'll be the 3 of Paul Savant as we are now on lap 19. And the thing that we're seeing the most now is normally we see the outside line just stacked full of cars. Tonight, not the case. So the outside line is pretty much dead. It's like whatever the build did and whatever the setup that they had before where we could see 2 and 3 wide racing, it's not there right now, as the outside line is not able to just get the power and the draft like they used to. It even appears that the drive off the corner isn't as good as it used to be since iRacing updated the setups here, as we're seeing a lot more drivers gravitating down towards that lower line versus the high side.
Yeah, and I really think it has a lot to do with the way the setup almost feels like it's unloading out of the corner, so they don't want to run too tight.
We see they're still doing a lot of lane switching here. Maybe that's probably just a cool down, because like I said, we're not really seeing a lot from the high side tonight, but we're nearing the end of stage 1 here. So far it's been clean, as now we're coming up on lap traffic. The 9 car, he's going to stay to the high side here, so as the field catches him here in turns 1 and 2, they're going to go by him. He's going to stay up against the wall. As a matter of fact, he's riding the wall right there, so a little too far up against the wall for the 9. He's able to bring it back down off the wall. He might have a little bit of right side damage there as he drops down to the inside of the track there. I don't know if he's going to come to a stop or if he's going to continue going. Meanwhile, it's pretty much just a stalemate here as we see more lap traffic coming into play here shortly for this lead pack. Now we see the whole field now catching 3 more lap cars. They're going to go to the top side here. Luckily, they caught them on the backstretch. These were cars involved in the wreck, minus the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer. He wasn't involved in it, but somehow he has wound up a lap down, so he's going to stay to the high side while these guys go by. As we continue on, we're looking right now at the 00. Dwayne Cooper, he is being scored in 10th position. Behind him, the 20 of Michael Coe. And then the 88 of Gregory Thompson. See the 96 there, Jason Roadbush, there on the inside. As they come to take lap 25 at the line, it's going to be the 8 of Dana Osborne as he has made it around the 3 of Paul Servant. So finally we saw some action out of the outside line there, as finally they were able to push a car ahead. It seems like there's been like an air bubble sitting up there. Like as soon as you get up to the outside of the car. Oh, and we got a wreck going on in the backstretch here. The 61 going for a ride. No caution as of yet, but we see the 00. He gets a little piece of the wall there too. All right, so no caution is going to fly on that one, so that's going to be a tough break for the 61 as he went for a wild ride down on the backstretch to the inside. But there was contact from the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. We are now 3 wide here on the backstretch. The 44 is stuck odd man out. He's going to drop down to the bottom there. That's going to leave 2 cars, the 4 of Justin Levine and the 26 of Daniel Holloway. They're going to have to drop down here to the bottom. or they're going to stay up on the higher group and see if they can get something going. Meanwhile, we're looking back here at 12th spot. We see the 00 again. Directly in front of him, the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. Behind him, the 35 of Sawyer Ott. So we are nearing the end of stage 1. It'll be 3 laps to go here at the line. So this is 9th on back to about 16th. You see the 00, Dwayne Cooper coming down pit road. Strategy call there probably, as we're nearing the end of the stage. Out front, it's still the 8 of Dana Osborne leading the show. Looking at laps led so far, it's only between 2 drivers. The 3 of Paul Servant with 21 laps and the 8 with 7, and it'll be 8 laps as they come to the stripe this time by. Easily another lap in the books there for the 8 of Dana Osborne, as there's only 2 cars still trying to run the outside, and that'll end stage 1 right there. So hand your first stage win over to the 8 of Dana Osborne. So all these guys are going to have to catch up to the iRacing pace car here. We saw an interesting strategy move there by the 00 just before the segment ended. So that should cycle him around to about the lead when these guys come down the pit here, because we will have everybody coming down pit road to get 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods and to top off and refill the tanks, as they're going to catch the pace car here on the backstretch.
Yeah, Art, that was definitely a great call by the 00. He knows everyone else has got a pit, so he pitted 1 lap early and didn't go a lap down, and he probably will inherit the lead.
And this, I think, is exactly the same strategy that we saw last week during the truck race at Talladega. He came in just before the stage ended, and it did in fact give him the lead. So possibly, I think Dwayne might be onto something here.
Yeah, seeing how hard it is to pass, and we've been watching the outside line. The outside line can't go anywhere. If you can get on that inside line and get that low line going and just stay in front, it's really tough to pass.
As we see the entire lead field getting ready to come down pit road here. They'll be led down by the 8 of Dana Osborne. We see some of the lap down cars possibly staying out to get their wave bys. Those 3, yes. I do remember seeing 80. He was involved in the first wreck here. So right now, as it sits at the end of stage 1, we've had 1 lead change. Our current leader is still being scored right now, according to IRTBO as Dana Osborne, but that is not correct. It is the 00 of Dwayne Cooper. IRTBO needs a lap in order to get everything correct. So 1 lead change. Technically, it's showing that we are working our second caution. That's because this was a NASCAR thrown caution. We've only had 1 actual caution due to a wreck early on. Our top 5 right now will consist of the 00 of Dwayne Cooper, Dana Osborne in the 8 second, the 66 of Bobby Tinch third, David Anderson fourth, and the 3 of Paul Servant will round out the top 5. And while we are under caution here, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, and hopefully we will return to seeing the lights on the pace car going out, and we'll be back to do stage 2 here. You can see the way by going around there. We are still under caution here. Your race leader is the 00 there, as he is out front of the pace car for reasons unknown, just Dwayne being Dwayne. I still think that for April Fool's, iRacing should make the pace car static on April Fool's Day and see how many people try to ghost through it and hit it instead. So hopefully this time by we'll see the lights on the pace car go out and we will get these guys reset and ready for stage 2 here. It's going to be interesting to see who is going to want to try and go back up to that top line again and see if they can make it work, or if everybody's going to just stay down on the bottom, seeing how it took forever for the 8 of Dana Osborne to clear the 3 of Paul Servant, who started on pole on the inside. It just seems like tonight with the setup and the new build that these cars are just not as good as they once were on the outside line. So it's going to take a lot of teamwork here from the guys here at Cyber Racing to figure out what's wrong with the setup, how to fix it, how to get these cars where the front end is back down, glued to the racing surface, so we can see the 2 and 3 wide racing here once again with these K&N cars as the lights on the pace car are out. So we are going to double the field back up, and we'll go ahead and give you a quick run through of the top 10. Out front, it is the 00 Dwayne Cooper, Dane Osborne in the 8 second, the 66 of Bobby Tinch third, David Anderson in the 44 fourth, the 3 of Paul Servant fifth, 26 of Daniel Holloway sixth, Justin Levine in the 4 seventh, the 96 of Jason Redbush 8th, Troy Patterson in the 79th, Marty Ray in the 65 is going to round out your top 10. As the pace car makes it through turn 3 here, we're going to go ahead and bring up the crank it up cam as we always do here on restarts. As the pace car gets ready to drop off here, we're going to see the green flag come out, and stage 2 will be underway as it's out now. 00 is going to lead us to the line. We are back racing as we see the Ford Justin Levine there. He got shuffled down to the inside. He's going to gather it back up. Alright, so we're going to pull it out of Fox. We got a new leader. The 8 of Dana Osborne has made it around the 00 of Dwayne Cooper, so that'll put the 8 back out front. But we do have 3 cars on the high line right now. We have the 44 of David Anderson. We have got the 70 of Troy Patterson and the 26 of Daniel Holloway, as well as now the 65 of Marty Ray. As you see, the 44 is almost able to drop down and clear the 8, and he's going to do so before the line, and the 70 is going to try and go with him. He's going to knock the 8 of Dana Osborne down the track. 26 clips Dwayne Cooper, and there's the big wreck happening, and anybody else going to get involved? Oh, hard hit there from the 54 into the 00, so the 20 also involved. We're going to go down, and we already know who caused that one. That was the 70 of Troy Patterson, so we're going to go back and show you guys a replay, even though it's kind of self-explanatory. You guys watched it happen right there live. It's probably not going to do too much other than we'll go to a blimp view of it so you can see it from the top down. Here's from the spotter point of view where we can see the initial contact. And we see the 00 getting clipped. We see everybody trying to avoid a little crash avoidance there as everybody goes around. And the 70 didn't seem to fare too worse for wear there. We're also going to go on board with the 26 and watch it as it happens through the eyes of a race car driver here. Well, here we are on the backstretch. This goes back about a half a lap before, so you're going to see the 44 of David Anderson. This is going to be the car right in front of you is the 70 of Troy Patterson. You're going to see him come down, and he's going to door slam the 8 of Dana Osborne, because he's going to try and go with the 44, because the 44, he was clear. 70 was definitely not clear. Came down, and right there slams the 8, comes back up the track. He gets turned, gets a little piece of the 00 there. Gets it saved. You can see the 00 still spinning. We had a motor detonation up there on the top groove. We see the 00 spinning it around. They get it back around there. But all that could have been avoided. It was just a dumb move on the 70's part. And that's going to bring us under caution again. So we're working our second caution of the race on lap 37. We're on lap 39 now. As we see the 44 there of David Anderson, he was completely in the clear at the time the incident happened, and I don't know exactly what was going through. I don't know if the 70 just didn't have his spotter on, or if he wasn't listening to his spotter, or if he fired his spotter, or if his spotter didn't show up, or if his spotter was using the bathroom, but he definitely was not clear when he slammed the 8. See if we have any takers down pit road, as pretty sure we're not going to see too many unless we get a 2 to green that come down to top off the tanks. We see the 70 coming down to, I guess, get some of the damage done, or maybe his spotter is going to come over the wall and smack him for that, but who knows. So looking at the top 10 right now, out front, ironically, we have the 1 car of Artie Peterson Jr. in the lead, and the 2 car of Rick Seabrands in second, the 21 of Eric Knax third, 44 David Anderson fourth, the 3 of Paul Servant, our pole sitter, sitting in 5th spot right now, the 61 of Earl Arts Jr. 6th, the 18 of Gary Champion 7th, the 65 of Marty Ray 8th, the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer 9th, and Lance Marsh in the 60 is going to round out the top 10. And as they cross the line this next time by, it'll be 20 laps until the end of stage 2. And with the way that these stage races are set up with the 10 extra laps, it unfortunately messes with IRTVO's ability to do the complete results. So therefore, we'll keep the top 5 in mind, and of course the top 3 always get the interviews, as we do see a couple drivers coming down to top off for fuel. So we should... Yep, lights are out on the pace car, so we're going to double the field back up here, and we're 1 away from restarting this lap on, or race on lap 42. You can see the whole field is staying low there for the wave bys to go by. As always, we're going to switch it over to the crank it up camera here. Pace car makes its way through 3 and 4. It'll be dropping down on pit road once again, and we'll get ready to see what the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. can do here on this restart, as the green flag is about to drop again, and we'll get these cars back up to speed. But in the meantime, turn your speakers up and get ready to crank it up. And we're wrecking. We're back under caution here. We did get a new leader, the two of Rick Seabrand's, who's able to make it around the one of Artie Peterson Jr. before that wreck happened. But we weren't even able to get 2 laps in, so the cars weren't even 100% up to speed yet. But we did have an incident there in 3 and 4. So that was between the 26 and the 66. We're going to go ahead and take a look at that and see what happened there. So we're going to ride on board with the 26 of Daniel Holloway there. And in front of him you can see the 66 of Bobby Tinch. Oh, looks like he just... Ouch. Oh, wow. 58 of Jim Peterson piles in. The 70. Okay, somebody needs to park that 70 because that's the second time. He was wide open throttle. And once again we see the 80. He was involved in the first caution there. He got turned. Yeah, that 70 looks like either his gas pedal stuck or he just did not hit the brakes. As we're gonna go on board with the 70. We're gonna see what happened here with the 70 because that's the second time he is wrecked. So we're gonna go in cockpit. We're gonna see what happens. So it's going to happen down here in 3 and 4. Now you can see the wreck way up there. You'd figure you'd already lay off. Gets down the apron. Sometimes I guess you're the ball, sometimes you're the bat. Either way, it doesn't look like it grenaded his motor, but you can see the aftermath sitting back there. Alright, so cycling back around front here.
Well,
we see the two of Rick Seabrand's there in the Jack Daniels machine. He is going to be our race leader as he was able to clear the one of Artie Peterson Jr. before all hell broke loose there in turn 3. So once again, while we are under caution, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break and return with the action here at Daytona International Speedway with the Cyber Racing Association's Homes Now Super Speedway Series. Alright, and we are back live here at Daytona. Still working our third caution of the race here. And we're going to ride around a little bit. Let's see what's going on here around the track. hopefully we'll see the lights on the pace car go out as it crosses the line here. And they do, so we're gonna double the field back up. And once again, we'll go through the top 10 here. So on this restart here, we will have the 2 of Rick Seabrands as your race leader, the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. starting on his outside in second, the 44 David Anderson third, the 21 of Eric Knex fourth, 3 of Paul Servant fifth, Earl Arts Jr. in the 61 sixth, the 65 of Marty Ray seventh, the 18 of Gary Champion in eighth, the 33 of Jeff Yastrzemski in ninth, and Raymond Rittenhauer is going to round up the top 10 then at 87.
Word from race control is the 70 of Troy Patterson has been removed from the league.
Does not surprise me in the least. That just boils down to simple. I don't think he had his head screwed on his shoulders, right? So that good call there by the 00 Dwayne Cooper by getting them out of here. So hopefully we can finish this stage under green and we won't see any more incidences like that, because I do believe he sat for like a lap or two before towing during that wreck. The pace car's getting ready to dive off, and once again we will be restarting on lap 47. The green flag is out. Let's go. As we pan out from the Crank It Up cam, we can see it is 3 wide, the 21 there. He got shuffled out, and he's gonna have to wait for a spot to open up so he can tuck back in. But up front, nothing has changed. It is still the 2 of Rick Seabrands. The only difference is we see the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. He has dropped, and we're once again 3 wide. Great job there by the 33, saving it. He was almost out of control there as they came out of turn 2. And we're seeing more 3 wide again. They're going to think better of it there. So we see this big ass lead pack here. These guys are getting a little bit racy a little bit too soon. This isn't the last stage. I don't know if the memo was passed that they do have another stage to race, but you guys gotta kind of back it down a little bit. It's getting a little bit crazy up here, and I know you may not have used your fast repairs yet, but now's not the excuse to use it, because you still do have another 30 lap stint that you guys have to do here. So anything can happen. We just need to see this lead pack kind of settle down a little bit.
There's 17 cars in that lead pack, and they all want that first spot. So I don't see him settling down. You know, in my opinion, it's a little too early to push it there, but.
No, and looking at retirees from the race, we have 3, including the one that was booted, the 70 of Troy Patterson, the 9 of Matthew Almany, and the 5 of Roger Stewart. They have taken their cars behind the wall. They're done for the night. There are still 27 cars left in this race. As we come to the line, new leader, the 44 of David Anderson. Now he has led laps previously, but he's going to continue now to add on to that. That'll be his 6th lap. We get a wreck. Big wreck. Big wreck here as we see a car flipping. The 61 absolutely going for the worst ride. We're definitely going to get on board with him, but I believe that was brought out by the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr., so we're going to go ahead and take a look. If I do remember correctly, that'll be the 2nd wreck that he's caused tonight. So here we are. We're on the backstretch. We're seeing the one right there. He's the 3rd car on the upper line. As they come into the corner here, looks like he just drops down. Nothing there. Now this will happen here in 1 and 2, so let's see what happens and what goes so wrong. Oh, see, he just goes up, he makes contact with the 61, and sends the 61. Ow, that was a Dale Earnhardt hit into the wall right there. That was incredibly hard. As we see a couple other cars involved, but I want to go on board with the 61 because he gets the award for most airtime. So we're going to do this on board through his car from the cockpit, so you guys are going to get one hell of a view here. So here we are riding on board with the 61. All right, now the incident is going to happen as they go into turn 1 here. You can see right there, that is the 2 of Rick Seabrains. Directly behind him is the 1, and here he gets turned, gets hit again and up, and then we're airborne. Ouch. We're also going to go on board with the 20 of Michael Coe. Here we see the entire lead pack, and we're going to see this entire wreck happen from the 20 car's view here, as he is able to make it through, I believe. There we see the 1 dropping in. Now it's going to be interesting. We're going to have to bust out the height meter here to see how high the 61 gets when he hits the wall, gets turned back up the hill, and smacks that wall, I mean, head first. There it starts happening. Hear him let out the gas. He backs down the throttle. Great job by the 20 there. Good reaction time. The 51 getting out of the way. He avoids the wreck and makes it through.
Definitely some good planning and good driving by him right there. He recognized an incident happening in front of him, got his car slowed up so he didn't get involved.
The laps are starting to wind down here in stage 2, but the action, it seems, as the laps are dwindling down, the action's seeming to ramp up more and more and more. Now that's twice we've seen the 1 involved in a wreck tonight. Are we done seeing this happen, or are we gonna be in for 10 cars finishing the race?
I don't know about 10, but if they keep on driving like they have been tonight, you know, as the cream rises to the top, you're gonna see at least the top 10 will finish the race.
I think right now the best strategy is to either be in the very back or to be at the very front, because it doesn't look very safe anywhere between those two positions there. So once they get all sorted back up, lights go back out, we line them back up here for the restart. We'll run through the top 10. I don't really think much has changed. As we see the one, he's going to be restarting in third if he doesn't come down pit road for tires service. It doesn't appear that he got any, well, he's got a little bit of damage. You can see maybe a little bit there to the left front, but other than that, the car's still pretty clean. Alright, so the lights are out on the pace car. We're going to go through the top 10 real quick here. We got the 44 of David Anderson out front. Rick Seabrain's in the 2 car sitting in second. The 1 of Artie Peterson Jr., despite being involved in that last cautionary, is still being scored in third. 65 of Marty Ray fourth. The 18 of Gary Champion fifth. The 8 of Dana Osborne sixth. Good to see him rebound after getting collected by the 70 of Troy Patterson. The 21 of Eric Knax in 7th, the 96 of Jason Roadbush 8th, Lance Marsh in the 69th, and the 20 of Michael Coe is going to round up the top 10. Green flag is back out. Let's see if we can keep the wreck to a minimum from here. Well, while we were watching the battle up here to the lead, there was an incident that happened on track, but they actually managed to save it. So, hats off to them, because it would have been a surefire wreck, but no caution came out. They both saved their cars, and we're going to stay green flag, as it'll be 2 more laps at the line until we reach the end of stage 2 here. You see the first 3 cars there on the bottom. We have the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr., we got the 2 of Rick Seabrands, and the 8 of Dana Osborne. On the outside, we got the 65 of Marty Ray, the 21 of Eric Knax, and the 44 of David Anderson. So 2 more laps here in stage 2, and then we'll have another mandatory competition caution here. Everybody will have a chance to come down pit road, get a set of tires, fill up, repair some damage, use a quick fix, and get ready to go for the final stage of the race. Now, winning the stage, that's a good thing, but we all know winning the race is definitely what you want to be doing here at the end of the night.
You know, that one car needs to really pay attention to what he's doing coming into the corner. He's entering way late. He's going to allow the 2 to get up underneath him.
As we see, the 2 just now shifted to the outside line. I think he kind of caught on to that, and that's going to end the stage here, I believe. So hand that one over to the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr.
And you know what the old saying is, if you can't beat them, wreck them.
I believe that was Dale Earnhardt. So stage 2 in the books. Our first stage goes to the 8 of Dana Osborne, and our second stage goes to the 1 of Artie Peterson Jr. You see the field catching the pace car here, everybody having to slow down. That would, oh, we almost had contact there. That would be indicative of the race leader not telling the rest of the field that the pace car was there. So great job by everybody behind. Driver chat has been disabled, so there's no way for him to call out where the pace car was. So great job still by everybody not dogpiling into each other there as they caught the pace car coming out of turn 2 onto the backstretch. All right, now it's time to talk strategy. Aside from coming down and taking, obviously, the 4 tires and a full tank of fuel, what do you think is going to be the winning strategy as far as position-wise now?
Well, you know, you really got to stay out of trouble and hope that it stays green for the last 30 laps to really play a decent strategy out. But, you know, that being said, depending on how the set's running, I'm only taking 2 tires the top of the tank off and trying to get some track position. You know, I don't know what the tire wear on the set is that they're using, but normally here at Daytona you can get away with just 2 tires and fuel.
Well, the 2 tire rule kind of got thrown out the window a little bit with iRacing's builds because they went a lot more aggressive on the tires. Even though this is a plate track and you're not really moving the steering wheel that much, those right sides definitely get a lot more wear on them, but the left sides also have increased wear now as well. So tire management is more crucial than it's ever been. So 2 tires, yeah, I could see that as a strategy, but I don't see it as a mass strategy unless we get like a late race caution and the lead pack decides they want to come down. Then yeah, that'd be a viable option. But right now, with 30 laps to go, I would, regardless of where it's going to put me back on the track, I would take 4 tires definitely on top of 2 cans of Sunoco race fuel. As we're looking out front here, we see the 00 Dwayne Cooper. Didn't see much of him in stage 2, but now at the end of stage 2 here, as we get ready to reset and start the final stage, there's that 00 out front. So strategy's definitely playing a key here. Now we all know these cars can go 30 laps on fuel. The question is if we see more cautions, are we going to see pitting? Or are we just going to see a lot of fuel conservation and banking on keeping those tires cool for the restarts?
Well, you know, keeping the tires cool is going to be a key, but, you know, we've got just over 60 laps in here. These guys running down on the bottom of the track are playing Russian roulette there with the marble pickup on their tires. I mean, you're really going to have to get them cleaned off.
All right, so the lights on the pace car are out. So we are going to double the field back up here. It'll be 1 lap to green. We'll restart with 26 laps remaining here at Daytona. So our top 10 will be the 00 Dwayne Cooper out front, the 60 of Lance Marsh. Everything's got to get caught back up again. There we go. The 8 of Dana Osborne will restart second. The 2 of Rick Seabrand's third. Artie Peterson Jr., our stage 2 winner, fourth. The 26th of Daniel Holloway, fifth. Gary Champion in the 18, sixth. The 4, Justin Levine, seventh. Good bounce back for him after being knocked off in the racing surface during early part of the race. The 21 in 8th. 65 of Marty Ray in 9th. And the 6 of Alexander Russell in rounding out the top 10. So as always, as the pace car is entering turn 3, we're going to go ahead and drop down into the crank it up camera once again. And we're going to let these guys get up to speed here. Once the pace car drops off and the green flag comes out, we will have 26 laps to go. All right, green flag is out. Final stage underway here at Daytona International Speedway with the Cyber Racing Association's Homes Now Super Speedway Series. And we're wrecking. Dwayne got turned. The 00 got turned on the back stretch, and he's still flipping, so he's going for one hell of a wild ride there. So we are under caution once again here at Daytona Motor Speedway. It looks like that one is going to be on the 00 of Dwayne Cooper, who at the time was our race leader, I believe. He was second place, but this is going to be interesting to see here. Trying to find an appropriate camera for this one. So here we see him. We're in the spotter box. You can see the 00 there. He's the second car on the inside line. And there he gets... Ooh, wow. Wow. We got a couple cars breakdancing here. Wow. Hard hit. So we're going to look at it from another angle here on the 00. There we see the two of Rick Seabrand's dropping down in front of them. Now as they come out of turn 2, we're going to see the 00 go around. Right there. Gets clipped. Hey, does a Clint Boyer. Sticks the landing. We also see the 18 of Gary Champion back there. He was also involved. He went upside down as well. So 2 cars upside down. So that one right there appears that the 00 kind of just shifted up about a half a lane and he got right into the car on the outside, which sent him hard in the outside wall, and also collected the 18 of Gary Champion as well, as that both cars were doing some Kip Winger ballerina spin kicks down the backstretch. So as we see the field picked up the pace car here, the 26 of Daniel Holloway is going to be scored as our race leader. The 4 of Justin Levine in second. We see the 65 of Marty Ray there, as well as the 6 of Alexander Russell. So now you can take pretty much strategy and you can throw it out the freaking window. Now you've got the option to come down and pit or stay out. So it's going to be interesting. We see, I believe that's the 8. He's going to come down pit road because the 00 did make contact with the 8 car, which was what brought the caution out. So the 8 of Dane Osborne is going to go down pit road and get his car repaired there. All right, that was the 80. The 8 and the 80 look a lot alike. I think they're pretty much running almost identical paint schemes, both Budweiser cars. And the Save the Tatas. All right, so let's ride on board here for a little bit with your race leader, see if they're clutching it or if they're just going to roll around in 4th gear with it bogged down. I can hear he's not clutching, he's cutting the ignition on this car. We're also going to go on board with the 4 of Justin Levine. See, he's clutching it. See, hear nothing out of that car right now, and now fired back up. Right back to clutch again. He's also doing a key thing that drivers do get criticized for it in the official series, but it does work. If you actually straddle your car over the yellow line down there, you get the air flow right there on the center, right where the radiator is, and you can pretty much maximize your cooling efficiency there. And I'm guilty of doing it myself because it does work amazing. My car has been blinking. I'd get to the outside, shuffle in the back, caution come out. I'd ride around on that line, get my car as cold as possible, as we see the lights on the pace car are out. So we're going to double them up. I really want to say hopefully for the last time, but I don't think we're done wrecking yet. But as it stands right now, your top 10 is going to be Daniel Holloway in the 26 with the lead, the 4 Justin Levine second, the 6 of Alexander Russell third, Marty Ray in the 65 fourth, the 51 of Cody Tabor fifth, Matthew Welsenbach in the 29 sixth, the 2 of Rick Seabrand seventh, the 44 David Anderson eighth, Bobby Tinch in the 66 ninth, and Eric Knex in the 21 is going to round up the top 10 as we are half a lap away from restarting this race with 10 laps to go. The question is, can these guys keep it together long enough to run this out green flag? Because if they can, I think it'll make for a hell of a finish, especially seeing how the outside line is not as effective as we're used to seeing here with these K&N cars. We're going to find out, though. Green flag is back out. We're back underway. Please, for the love of God, drivers, keep those cars in line. You see the speeds here right about 200 miles an hour going into turn 1. And we are 3 wide, the 44 David Anderson, or 44 David Anderson. I'm so used to seeing that paint scheme color with the 43 number on it. They're easily able to sort that one out. They're going to go back to double file as we see over 200 miles an hour going in. And right around about 198, 199, 200 coming off the corner. See at the line, who's it going to be? It'll be the 26 leading that lap. We're going to keep the RPM bar up here. So it's down to crunch time now. These guys have got to play nice, but when it comes to the last lap, it's every man for himself. But the key is keeping it green flag up until the last lap and not having to have a green-white checker one-lap shootout, because that's usually when most of the hell breaks loose. As we're seeing once again, that upper lane is not really benefiting. There's 4 cars up there and 6 on the bottom. So easily that time it'll be once again the 26 of Daniel Holloway leading that lap. So this is your entire top 10 and then some. So it's top 11, basically your top 11 right here in this lead pack. I think one fell off because now it's down to the top 10. We see the last car right there, but we do have 4 more cars that are latching on to this pack here, but they're starting to run out of laps, so they need to get a plan going and get it going quick if they want to get up there and be part of the action. But I don't know, I think it's going to be a battle here between the 26 and the 4. no stranger to running with Justin Levine. I've run several NIS races with him at Daytona, the plate tracks. We worked together. He's a great plate track driver. We saw earlier during the race he was involved. He got door slammed off of the bottom groove during a restart, forced down into the infield. So great recovery by him. We didn't really see much from the 4-car in the second stage, but now in the one that counts, we see him up there trying to get the lead, and he will lead that lap, as right now he does still have the 26, but now it's going to fade away as we see, I believe it was the 2 of Rick Seabrand's. He's going to drop down to the inside, but now we see more cars starting to group up here, so we might see the outside line trying to reform and make another run at it, but right now the inside line, hands down, all night has been the dominant line. As you can see right there, as they're going through 3 and 4, you can see how bad the outside falls off. As they were last time by, Justin had the 26 by a fender, and now he's 3 cars behind. As they fan out.
Yeah, the outside line just doesn't seem like it has the drive through and off the corner as it used to.
Now we see the 2 of Rick Seabrand's. He's going to jump to the outside line here, so that'll put him, if he can get up there and clear the 26, that'll put the 2 back at the lead. That's assuming that he doesn't try to bring the 4 with him, but with as few laps remaining in this race, I think I'm going to try and get what's mine and see you later, bye.
Yeah, with this many laps left, it's not really teammates anymore or who's your friend. It's who's going to get me there, and
you have to wreck them to do it.
Yeah.
So these cars are hovering right at almost hitting the chip here. They tack out at 8,000 RPMs. They redline at 7,700. And we're seeing right there at about 77, 7,800, 79, right about at 8,000 RPMs going into the corner. So they are right there on the verge of hitting the rev limiter. So at the line, once again, it'll be the 26, but it looks like the 2 and the 4, they're seriously trying their hardest to get up there, as it'll be 11 laps to go when they cross the stripe next time by. Now they've got a decent run going here on the backstretch, the 2, the 4, and the 6. But you'll see here as they go into the corner, that run is going to start dissolving. Now you can see he's not quite even with the 26. And when they come to the line, it'll easily be the 26 again. So I think the key right here now, if I was the 2 car, is getting my ass end clear of that 26 and dropping right down in front of them and just sitting there. As we see, the inside line looks like I had to check up a little bit there. That might play a little bit of an advantage for the outside line, but I don't know. It's still too close to call right now. You see some moving and shaking going on between the 88 and the 8. So now we see some lap traffic starting to come into play here. You see the 65 get his left side there on the apron. And unless you're going to be baking something, do not be on the apron. As now I do believe with the 10 to go rule, lap cars are to get to the bottom of the track to allow the racing surface for lead lap cars. So they're going to drop down to the bottom. The entire lead pack's going to make it by. And once again, the 26 is going to lead another lap. That's 14 laps he has led tonight. Other lap leaders tonight, the 65 of Marty Ray with 1, the 4 of Justin Levine with 1, the 2 of Rick Seabrands with 6, the 3 of Paul Servant with 21, the 8 of Dana Osborne with 13, the 44 of David Anderson with 10. As we see 3 wide, the 6 had to bail out on that. So that's going to hurt the upper line again, as we see now it's about 2 cars as they cross the stripe.
You know, just a quick reminder to our viewers, there's only 8 laps to go, barring a caution. So if we don't have a caution that causes a green-white checker, we'll wrap this up in 8 laps.
Yes, there's 10 laps allocated for NASCAR overtime. We see a slow car there on the infield there. He's letting the lead by. As we see the 2 of Rick Seabrands, he's actually got a little bit of a run this time as they're coming through 3 and 4. He's going to try and take as much advantage as he can, but now they've pretty much evened up again coming out of the corner. If he can get a good enough push by the 4 of Justin Levine, he can clear, but he's not going to be able to do so, as once again the 26 of Daniel Holloway is going to lead another lap, as it is now 7 laps to go here at Daytona International.
Yeah, for that 2 to be able to get out in front right now, he's going to need the help of at least the 4 and the 3 car.
If not the 44 as well.
Yeah, and maybe the 44, yeah. As the bottom line is kind of regrouped up to, you know, they're kind of spaced out, but there's 4 of them down there.
I think what we're seeing is the outside line is running with a lot more common sense. As you see, the 4 of Justin Levine is able to breathe his car. He'll come out, breathe it, and then get the run on the 2 to give him the push. Whereas the inside, we're not really seeing anybody moving around. So I'm almost wondering how much longer that 65 can stay tucked up behind the 26 before his motor decides to, hey, I'm Jimmy Johnson, boom, confetti. So they got to run every time here on the backstretch, but every time going back into the corner, it just dissolves. So 5 to go this time. And at the line, that was very, very close to call, but it's going to be the 2 of Rick Seabrands leading that one. Now, if they could stay this way and run green flag and get a lap like that, get the run like they did on the last lap out of turn 4, that'll work wonders for the 2 of Rick Seabrands. But right now, the 26 of Daniel Holloway is doing everything he can to try and keep that 26 out front. But as you can see, going into 3, they've got a little bit of momentum. He almost had the 26 cleared that time, but 3 and 4, it seems to be more fall off than 1 and 2. 1 and 2, they get a hell of a run coming off of it as it carries through the backstretch, but it just seems to fall right on its face as they go through 3 and 4.
You know, in this league, it's going to be interesting to see how long the 3 and the 44 wait on that high line and hope something happens, or do they go out and make something happen? They can make it 3 wide. We know these guys love making it 3 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide, 18 wide, whatever they can. So we'll have to see. Pay attention to 3 and 44 back there.
Definitely can't rule that out. These guys are no strangers to completely filling the racetrack with cars. Whether they're going the right direction or not, it does not matter. They are not scared to do it. And with 3 laps to go when they cross the line this time, it's going to be anybody's guess as to who's going to play nice and who's going to try and pull a move to either bring it checkers or wreckers. So here we should see the run that the outside line gets on the backstretch. So we've got the 2, the 4, the 29, the 60, or that's inside cars, 3, and the 44. If the 66 and the 20 could get up there, they might be able to help a little bit, but with that 65 being glued to the back of that 26, it's just keeping the momentum there on the inside line. It's 2 laps to go now. Next time by will be the white flag. It's going to be interesting. I really don't know what to expect here on the final lap. Apparently it's white flag right now, so if the move is going to be made, it's got to be made here off of 3 and 4. So the 3 and the 4, if they want to get that 2 up to the front here and push him to the win, they need to do it, and they need to do it right this time. Otherwise, it's going to be the 26 of Daniel Holloway being pushed by the 65 of Marty Ray and the 29 of Matthew Welzenbach. And it does not look like it's going to happen. We see him try to fan out, but it's going to be the 26 of Daniel Holloway winning it here at Daytona Motor Speedway. As that is the official end of the race here, and we got a little post-race contact there of the 88. So that is going to be it right there. We managed to get a green flag finish in here. 3 different stages, 3 different winners. Dana Osborne with the first, Artie Peterson Jr. with the second, and Daniel Holloway bringing home tonight's race win. So interesting strategies playing out. I know the 4 probably wanted to see the 2 get up there and win it, but it's just tonight the top side has not been what this track is used to seeing. I mean, we're used to seeing that top side getting the run, especially with these K&N cars as well as they draft, but with the build and everything. All right, and since these guys here have to run the race out, we are unable to give complete race results, but we do have our top 3 ready, I believe, for interviews. The 25 and 65 are teammates. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get our 3rd place finisher in here. All right, Matt, you made a hell of a run there. It was definitely a lot of chaos and carnage going on. We saw a lot of cars going upside down. We saw some things that probably shouldn't take place on a racetrack and the driver getting booted for it. But all in all, hell of a race. You brought it home 3rd. What did it feel like from behind the wheel tonight?
Hey, I've had such bad luck these past couple weeks. You know, I think I won the 2nd race of the season, and I've just had some really awful luck. Change paint schemes up, running this Ripple cryptocurrency Impala tonight, and just, yeah, wheeled the heck out of it there at the end. Was just happy to get in a good spot. I kind of hated being stuck on that low line. I really wanted to hop up to the high side, but never had, you know, a clear room. And then, of course, you know, we were all on fuel conservation there coming to the end, and that last lap I was like, okay, I got enough fuel, so I just basically got on Marty's bumper, who was pushing Daniel, and, you know, got us 1, 2, 3 on the bottom side. And also big shout out to Daniel when he gets in here, his first win at Cyber Racing. He's been around here for a while, so big congrats to him.
That's what we like seeing as first-time winners, but not to take away from your 3rd place finish. Great show of racing, as always. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank?
Oh, I want to thank Cyber Racing. We always have fun here. You know, we have some fun racing. Loving your guys' work. I can't wait to go back and watch the broadcast like I always do. Radical Racing, my boys Greg, Jim, Chris Akers. I know they didn't exactly have as good of a night, but, you know, just got, I don't know if anyone's ever going to be able to catch Drive for Autism as a team, but, you know, just nice to get on a podium here, you know. So, woo.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on that 3rd place, buddy, and we will see you next week. Hopefully we get to interview you once again.
Yeah, another stat you guys might want to know. This is, we have not had a repeat winner yet on Saturdays this season. We are still going strong with first, you know, 1 win for different people all season. So it's kind of a cool little stat.
And hopefully, as we move into next week, we see that stat continue to increase, as it's always great to see a different driver winning every race. It gets boring seeing the same person race after race after race. But once again, thanks for coming in. Thanks. Great job racing tonight. Third spot. Can't complain about that. And we'll see you next week.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
All right, that was our third place finisher, Matthew Welsenbach. Now we are going to bring in second, the 65 of Marty Ray. All right, Marty, hell of a job behind the wheel tonight. We saw a lot of different strategies. We saw a lot of carnage, chaos, cars flipping everywhere. Tell us how it felt behind the wheel.
Oh, I got to say, it was really crazy. You know, I ended up starting from the pit. I had a late start, and it took me a long time to even get back into the race. But, man, I tell you, that was one heck of a last few laps there, last 10 laps, just pushing my teammate as hard as I could. Daniel Holloway did a heck of a job keeping the line straight. You know, it was great. It was really good racing.
Now, the one thing that me, Alan, and Mike were all wondering is how the hell did your car not blow up?
You know, I kept looking at the temperature, and I would let up a little bit and just let a little air get between me and the guy and Daniel, just enough to keep that temperature from getting too high.
Well, apparently that strategy worked off as you were able to push your teammate to the win. You bring it home second. Great finish here tonight. Is there anybody that you would like to thank?
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank Die Hard TV for broadcasting this for us. You guys are awesome. Homes Now for sponsoring us, and Cyber Racing. You got those guys put together a great league, and we love racing with them every week.
Oh, we absolutely love being back here on the Cyber team. We loved covering it in the past, and you guys have definitely kicked it into a higher gear this season when we were brought back on, and hopefully it'll continue on to the next season. Once again, congratulations on the second place, and hopefully we get to interview you again here in the top three, maybe even with a win next week.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, that was our second place finisher. Now we're going to bring in our race winner, the 26 of Daniel Holloway. All right, Daniel, you managed to bring it home with the win. You had the help of your teammate pushing. We saw a bunch of different strategies. We saw a lot of cars going for one hell of a ride. We saw a lot of different things since the new build. How did it feel behind the wheel tonight?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy at the end of last green flag there. I got to thank my teammates on that one. Setup was good. Car is great. Last 10 laps to go was getting nerve-wracking for me.
The one thing that we noticed is the upper line, which usually tends to have the advantage, it seemed they only got the run out of turn 2, and if they could carry it down the backstretch, it would fall off in 3, and especially through the trial. Well, as we saw in those last 10 laps, it was a battle between you and the two of Rick Seabrand's, but in the end, you managed to bring it home in victory lane. That's always a great feeling, especially knowing that you brought it home with a clean car. You led a ton of laps. Looking at it right now, you led 22, so that's pretty good, and you led the most important one and won the most important stage. Great feeling. Is there anybody out there that you would like to thank?
Oh yes, I'd like to thank Dwayne for this league here. Definitely my teammates, Team Excalibur, Justin, Marty, Alex. I want to say thanks for his help also. You know, you guys, Die Hard TV, put on a good show for us. Homes Now, not later. I want to thank their sponsor. It's my first ever win here, so I'm ready to do donuts.
Well, we'll let you get that underway, and hopefully maybe you can make it more than one win as we go back at it again next week. But once again, congratulations on the win tonight. Savor it, go do those donuts, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thank you guys. That just locked me in the playoff with one more race to go, so that definitely helped.
All right, guys, anything you want to add to it before we put this one in the books here?
Overall, it was a pretty good race. A lot of mishaps. You know, I think everybody's still trying to get used to all the updating that iRacing's done to the track surface, the tire model, and whatnot. So overall, it was a pretty decent race. They got it in the books.
and we definitely saw more cautions than we were used to. But then again, when you're working with a new setup and a new build, we saw last week with the Truck Series, that definitely played a huge factor, especially just coming off of week 13. They literally had a week to build an open truck setup, and the same thing here with the fixed setup here. They do run a league setup, and that completely got thrown in the garbage, seeing how the build eradicated everything that made this car stick to the track, made it draft so well. So hopefully by the time that we're back in the K&N cars, we're going to take a rotation, and we're going to go to the trucks again next week. Maybe by the time that we jump back into K&Ns, well, we're off again next week, but when we pick up again with the trucks, they've got plenty of time. They'll have enough time to get the K&N setup maybe sorted back out to where that splitter's back down there on the bottom of the track, and we can see 2-3 wide racing with the K&N again, and the outside being a little bit more dominant than it was tonight. But all in all, great show of racing. We had our fair share of wrecks, but first time winner with the league, that's always a win-win here. It was a hell of a race to watch. The last 10 laps there, action-packed between the inside and the outside road. Great to see a first-time winner. But for everybody here at Die Hard Live TV, Cyber Racing, Homes Now Not Later, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Once again, we are off this coming week, so we will be back in 2 weeks with the trucks. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you like what you see, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys next time. And folks, if you're still here, one thing I forgot, I got in a little bit of a rush there. We will be live tomorrow night with the Die Hard Racing League as they take on 250 laps at Bristol Motor Speedway with the K&N cars. We are in our K&N series. That race will start at 7:20 p.m. Central Time. So if you guys want to tune in to check that out, feel free to stop over, as we are going to be our third race of the season. So once again, for everybody here at Cyber, Die Hard, and Homes Now, thanks for watching, and we will see you guys next time.